Hey everybody, Enra Silver here, and welcome to episode 5 of Glitchslapped by Enra. In this episode, I've got something a bit different and specific. Today, I've got tips for glitching on the PS5. First off, I need to give props to Beeblebum for suggesting this subject. He noticed that he was getting lots of questions in chat about this specific topic, and since he doesn't actually play on a PS5, he suggested I cover it, and since I'd noticed the same thing, I was happy to. If you aren't subscribed to the Master Builder himself, I'm linking his channel on the screen. Go do it now! Now, I've got 3 different techniques I use to make glitching go a bit easier on the PS5, but I'm going to let everybody know up front that glitching on the PS5 will always be a bit tougher than it is on the PS4. Simply the nature of the beast. Faster processors give you better graphics and gameplay, but also narrow the window for successful glitching. I think the trade-off is worth it, but each player is going to have to decide for themselves. Now, let's get into ways you can make it easier to glitch. The first one is to lower the frame rate. To do this, you need to go to the settings on your PS5, pick Save Game and App Settings, then Game Presets and Performance or Resolution Mode. Default for this is Game Default, which lets the settings change from game to game. You can manually lock this into Performance or Resolution. Performance is higher frame rate, with Resolution being lower frame rate. A couple of problems with this technique is that it sets the mode globally, so you need to remember to turn it off once you're done glitching. It also requires a restart of the game to take effect. Now let's set it to Performance and try some glitching at my R&D base on Bolt Hole. No cuts or edits on this part. And about a minute later, I finally get the glitch to go. Now let's go back, switch it over to resolution mode, and see if it makes a difference. Back at my R&D base, it goes the very first try. I'm sure it's a bit of a fluke, so let's keep going for the same minute I did previously. I get 6 successful glitches in the same amount of time it took me to get one while I was in performance mode. The second tweak you can try is remapping your buttons. You can do this through the settings menu and picking accessibility. Then go down to pick controllers, then pick custom button assignments and enable it. Pick custom button assignments again, and this will bring up a schematic of the controller buttons. Press which button you want to change and then hit the new button you want to map it to. Pick apply and exit back to the game. With this change you won't need to restart the game, but again it is a global change, so you have to remember the new button arrangement. You can remap the buttons however fits you best. I use it to make adjacency the same buttons as all the other glitches. Another option you've got if you've got extra cash to spend is you can buy custom-made controllers with mappable buttons. You can even get them with multiple configurations that change just by tapping a button. There are lots of manufacturers and choices out there. One of the best reviewed is AIM controllers. Here's a pic of one of their controllers with the mappable buttons on the back. Be warned though, an AIM controller will run you anywhere from $80 up to nearly $500 with all the bells and whistles. Now my last tip has to do with the constant snapping. I'm using adornments here since they're one of the worst offenders, but this trick will work with anything that's rapidly snapping. It's actually more of an observation than a trick, but anything that snaps like this has a sweet spot. One spot where all the snapping will stop. It's usually at one edge of the piece, right where it changes from green stated to red stated. It can be nearly impossible to find sometimes. A millimeter can be the difference, but it's always there if you've got the patience to find it. Well, that's all for this episode of Glitchslapped. Hopefully PS5 players will find it helpful. Players on other platforms, never fear. Next episode, we'll go over ways to control connection point orientation and get back to techniques usable across all platforms. Thanks for watching, and as always, this has been Enra, and may the glitch gods smile upon you.